Hey friends, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Fit Life Orange County. And before I introduce today's guest, I want to give you a friendly reminder to give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. Right, it's an amazing review on iTunes. That way we can keep producing this content for you for free. So now to tee up today's guest, who is a dear friend of mine and someone that I consider as a brother. He has been a coach at Mission Viejo Fit Body Bootcamp since 2015. He's now our head coach, and he has impacted and really inspired fitness and changed so many lives over nearly 10 years of his certitude as a health and fitness coach at Mission Viejo Fit Body Bootcamp. And he's here to share the top secrets on how to get fit, lose weight, burn body fat, and really live your best quality of life. So without further ado, Jake Stewart, my brother, welcome to the show.
You are sick and tired of being sick and tired. You need to lose weight, get fit, and take back control of your life. You're so busy. Work, kids, school, and other life commitments. Where do you even have the time or the know-how? That is the problem. And this show will give you the answers. Here is Bryce Henson and Jake Stewart, your host of the Fit Life Orange County, a show dedicated to busy men and women focused on taking back control of their fitness and their life, with help from the ideas, programs, and guidance from local experts here in Orange County.
All right, Jake Stewart, my friend, welcome to the Fit Life Orange County. Super pumped to have you, bud.
Thanks, Bryce. I'm super excited to be here as always.
Awesome. Well, you and I are co-hosts of the show, and you shot an interview of me, which will be released later. Now I'm shooting the interview with you, and really just to uncover your wisdom, your background, and I guess the storytelling of you as a coach, fitness coach here in Orange County. So excited to dive in.
Yeah, same here. I'm super excited.
Cool. So first and foremost, you are the head coach of Mission Viejo. You've been, with us since I think 2015, 2016, it's been an incredible ride. But before we get into that, the nuts and bolts of your story as a head coach at Mission Viejo and all the lives that we've impacted and you've impacted, give us the backstory just in terms of your fitness backstory growing up. Were you a fit guy? Were you not a fit guy? I'm curious, from your perspective.
Yeah, totally. So I'm Southern California born and raised. So obviously, we really do care about our fitness here in Southern Orange County, specifically here in California. But truth be told, I did go over a couple of roller coasters through being fit, not being fit. Like I was an athlete growing up. I played baseball for 14 years. I played football in high school. And so there was always like an athletic base. But I mean, I never took my diet to heart. No one ever taught me how to eat well. My parents definitely were not, bless their hearts, they definitely didn't teach me very good diet habits growing up. So I kind of struggled with it a little bit. So I went from being like super skinny to being a little overweight, to being super skinny to being a little overweight. And I kind of went through that through my childhood. Through my football days in high school, I was able to stay in shape, obviously, because we're burning so many calories. It didn't really matter how you ate in high school. So I was able to stay in shape. But after my third year of football, I had too many injuries. So I ended up quitting football and didn't play my senior year and focused more on my film production side, which is where I went to college for and everything like that. But once I quit football, I kept eating like I was playing football, and I actually ended up gaining like 20 or 30 pounds of fat. And I just wasn't keeping up with the workouts. And finally, right after high school, after my senior year, I looked at myself and I was like, what the heck are we doing here? Like, I look terrible. I feel terrible. I'm eating terrible. Let's get this fitness thing under control. And at the time, I had no fitness knowledge. I'd never taken any nutrition courses or anything like that other than just generic health class in high school. And so after that, I just said, hey, you know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to eat eggs in the morning. I'm going to eat chicken and rice for lunch, and I'm going to eat chicken and rice or steak and rice for dinner. And I did that every day for over a year exactly without straying from it. And I was able to drop like 20 or 30 pounds. I got down to almost 7% body fat, so I was super duper lean. That being said, my diet still wasn't that great, so I still was definitely lacking a lot of my overall nutrition. Like, yes, I had the protein aspect, but I probably wasn't eating enough calories to sustain myself at a healthy rate. And there was a whole bunch of other stuff going into it. So after that, I kind of started to learn and get to know my diet a little bit more. And that's the time when I found Fit Body, is when I started to learn more about nutrition and things like that. Once I started with Fit Body, I was able to learn all the nutrition stuff. And like this day, like, yes, I was leaner back then, but I feel better, stronger, and healthier now, sitting at like 12 to 15% body fat than I did at that super low body fat percentage. So that's kind of just like a quick snapshot of my fitness over the years.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, and it's certainly inspiring for other people, and just gives a good backstory, especially for our clients, but ultimately, for anyone interested in learning more how to be healthy and fit. Now, we talked about, or I guess you referenced finding Fit Body, and I love this story. I'm going to let you tell it, but ultimately, my question for you, Coach Jake, is how did you hear about Fit Body? How did that story play out?
Well, I knew nothing about Fit Body, to be brutally honest. I knew absolutely nothing about it. I knew nothing about circuit training. I knew nothing. I was a weightlifter by trade. I've been lifting weights ever since my football days. I would spend 2-3 hours in the gym, like I said. I was an avid gym rat and things like that. At the time, I actually worked at a frozen yogurt shop here in Southern California called Golden Spoon. Super awesome high school job, carried it over into my freshman year of college. Worked my way up to be the general manager of the store. It was super awesome, and this blonde guy kept coming in every Friday. I got to know him a little bit for the better part of 6 months. I knew his order, so the second he walked in, whether he was on the phone or not, I already had his order ready for him. We built a little bit of rapport at Golden Spoon at the shop, and then, of course, we saw each other lifting weights one day, and the stars aligned. That guy just so happened to be Mr. Bryce Henson himself. He asked if I'd ever been interested in personal training or coaching, and I said, I've never really sought after that, but it's something that I've always liked. I've always enjoyed being a leader, and I've always enjoyed coaching and helping other people. So why not? And I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot. I went into Fit Body the next day, took a session. It absolutely kicked my butt. I will say that. I went into it with the highest ego possible, thinking oh, I'm going to destroy it. All these moms in here, it's going to be easy walking the park. And I was laying on the floor. People had to come check on me, after the first session. And I fell in love with it. It was awesome. It was 30 minutes. It was exactly what I needed at the time because I was getting into a rut of being at the gym for 2-3 hours, and it was so miserable. I was wasting a good part of my day that I could be spending doing something more productive. And so I gave it a try, fell in love with it, and then obviously was offered a job, picked up the job, started working super part-time at the beginning because I was still juggling my 2 jobs, and then decided that fitness was really the way that I wanted to go. So I quit my other job and then went Fit Body full-time, and for the last 6.5, almost 7 years, this is the direction that I've been going in.
Oh, man. Love that story, dude. And I think there's just a lot of takeaways. One, just the personality perspective and the genuine care and compassion you have for other people. And I certainly sense that. And to your point, getting to know you, what we always talk about, when we train our coaches is we're in the people business first and foremost. And then the coaching, the health, the fitness, the nutrition comes after that. And obviously your love for people just shows in spades. So, just to give our audience a little backstory of that from my perspective, for those 6 months, I used to come home to talk to my wife Tatiana, who also is a coach at Mission Viejo, and say God, this guy that is the general manager of the Golden Spoon, he just so welcoming, so personable, knows my order. I just really like that guy. And then as it turns out, the stars aligned. On a Sunday afternoon, we were both lifting weights at a local big box gym, and I just knew, okay, this really, really strong customer service guy who had a very strong, genuine interest in people. And then I saw you from the fitness perspective, and then the stars aligned. So I think that's just a great story. And ultimately, I think some good learning lessons and takeaways for our audience, really the importance of really, connecting with coaches that are personable, that really have strong relationships, because that's more important long-term than actually the technical coaching of itself. And of course, when you combine them, that's where the magic happens. So thank you for sharing that, my friend. All right, so speaking of coaching, diving into that, give us some insight from your perspective, Jake. What's your favorite part of coaching? And then the flip side, just so our audience and some of our clients can also be aware of, behind the scenes, if you will, what are the most challenging parts of coaching from your perspective?
Definitely. Well, I'll start with the best part, and the best part is my clients. So my clients are awesome, and it's so great because I get to meet so many new people too, because there's always new clients coming in the door. But at its core, I love our people, and that was the same thing I loved about the food service industry. That was my favorite part, was getting to communicate with people and always be in front of people and be talking to people. I can't imagine myself at a behind-the-desk job where I'm just sitting in front of a computer all day. I'd probably drive myself insane, and then more so, I would probably drive my fiance insane because she would hate how much I would have to talk to her. I'm an outgoing person, and I love people, so it's just so awesome to be rooted into these people's lives. I always say that I'm a part-time coach, part-time therapist as well, because all of my clients, they love me so much, and I in turn love them back. And because of that love that we share and the connections that we share, I get to learn so much about these people's lives, and I get to help them through hardships. And it's much more than just leading them through a 30-minute workout. It's also just helping them with their lives. I've seen people go through nasty divorces and come out on the better end. I've seen people get better connections with their family. I've seen people make new friends and have these blooming friendships that have lasted over the better part of a couple of years. There's been so many things that have just been I never expected in a million years to gain from working at a gym to what I've gained at Fit Body. It's been super awesome. On the flip side, obviously, hardest parts about being a coach, it does take an emotional toll. So like I said, I spill out pretty much all of my emotions all week long, so Monday to Friday I'm in there, and then even on the weekends as well. I'm always giving all that I got. I'm providing all the energy for the workout. I'm providing all the energy in between sessions and talking with people and getting to know them and using all of my emotions. that I would say, like, sometimes when I get home, I'm drained, and it's not even necessarily like a physical drain. Like, I can keep up with walking around and moving around and stuff like that, but it's that emotional drain. So sometimes when I get home, I just have to like shut down, and it's very not like me to be shut down. So that's probably one of the worst parts. And then, of course, obviously, no one likes to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Sometimes it's hard. Most of the times it's easy because I remind myself the job that I'm going to is so awesome. So that's a really easy way that I wake up. I'm like, oh, shoot, it's 4:30. And I'm like, oh, well, I get to go work out Fit Body. So it's like a no-brainer. Let's get out of bed. Let's grab some coffee and let's get going, you know?
Yeah, well, to your credit, my friend, you certainly, I got a few years on you, and I am an early riser, as you know, but I was definitely not an early riser when I was 18, 19, 20, coming up through the ranks, so you have me beating spades, and I just, it's a great lifestyle that you've created for yourself, and obviously very fulfilling as well, because, you connect with our clients on a very deep level, and, you are a massive reason why we've been so successful over the last, going on 10 years at Mission Viejo because of, the coaching, obviously you're a head coach for a reason, and the program you've built, but also ultimately and primarily the relationships and culture you've built. So hats off to you there, my friend.
What's up, my friend? Coach Bryce here. Now, you might know me as the co-host of this podcast and the owner of Mission Viejo Fit Body. But what many people don't know is that I began my journey as a fitness transformation story. You see, circuit training and nutrition coaching absolutely changed my life after being overweight with a diet of mainly fast food in my late teens. Now, upon my fitness transformation in early 2007, yes, I gained a much better physique as I was overweight and lacked lean muscle. But way more than burning fat and building lean muscle, I increased my confidence, my energy, and my vibrancy to live life. And it's for these reasons that many people join our boot camp. In fact, with our Ultimate Transformation Program, we guarantee that you'll lose at least 15 pounds in 12 weeks, or your program is free until you do. Now go ahead and visit our website at missionviejofitbody.com. Now thanks, and back to the show.
All right, so now shifting gears, and this is really to kind of showcase some, common, I guess, reasons why people, join boot camp, and especially for our audience who are listening, who's interested in taking another step in their health and fitness, but maybe just curious why other clients join our program. From your perspective, why do most clients join our program? And then not necessarily the favorite transformation, but if you have one or two very memorable transformations, we'd love to hear some of those stories.
Totally. Well, I mean, a couple of common things that get people into Fit Body Boot Camp as opposed to any other gym is they're just looking to try something new. So many people have gone to the big box gyms and they've tried to walk on the treadmills and they've tried to do personal training there, which is outrageously expensive. And also just one-on-one training kind of sucks sometimes. Like, depending on who you get paired up with, if you're not paired up with somebody that you mesh with, it's just a lot like, hey, do 5 reps. Hey, do 10 reps. Hey, do 20 reps. It's a lot of just kind of them telling you exactly what to do, and it's not fun. So they're looking for something fun, something different. And of course, like something that fits their schedule. So we have the early morning sessions, we have late morning sessions, we have evening sessions, and they're only 30 minutes. Like the common thing that everybody says is an excuse that everyone says, I don't have time to work on my fitness, or I don't have time to go to the gym, whatever it is. You have 30 minutes. I can guarantee you that you have 30 minutes in the day. You probably spend 30 minutes on your phone, on TikTok, texting, doing whatever you're doing. So, hey, let's cut your TikTok time down and let's come into boot camp and get a workout, because all you really need is 30 minutes. Everyone always thinks, more is always better. Why aren't the sessions an hour long? Because 30 minutes is all you need. 30 minutes is all you need to live a long and happy life. And yeah, so that's really some of the common things is like people always complain about time. And they just want something different, something fun, and something that they can do for a long period of time, which won't get boring, which we like to say at Fit Body, we're always changing it up every single day, different workouts all the time. So we never let people get into a rut. We're always keeping it different. In terms of transformation stories, there's a couple that pop up off of my head. Obviously, we've had so many. But I can think of Jamie. She's one of our more recent transformations. So she's been at Fit Body for almost a year. So I think she's about the 10-month mark at this point. She started with one of the challenges, wasn't super committed, lost a little bit of weight and was feeling okay. And then the spark switched, and I don't know exactly what caused the spark to switch, but in the course of like 3 or 4 months, she was able to drop 40 pounds. She dropped a bunch of weight, and it's crazy. She actually just hit the 50-pound mark right before her 50th birthday. Her 50th birthday is September 7th, so it's coming up in a couple of days. So like she changed her life for the better, and in the course of changing her life for the better, it completely changed the relationship that she was in and she's no longer in, and she's happier. And like I can tell you, the Jamie that I met 10 months ago is a completely different person than the Jamie that we know today. She's happier, she's healthier, she looks great. And she's just living like such a great life. She's created so many friendships. I can't tell you how many boot camp buddies. They all go line dancing and stuff every Thursday. They're out on Saturday nights down at the beach doing whatever. So it's so just awesome to see like that she bloomed and she became the person that she is today. And all it took was just getting into shape and just getting that 30 minutes in a day and really committing to it. And on the flip side too, like that was a big transformation, but I can think of a couple other transformations. And one of them actually, Coach Bryce, you know this, Coach Uria, Coach Y from back in the day. So she didn't have a lot of weight to lose. Obviously she was very, very thin and very, very already low weight. She actually put on about 10 pounds of muscle, which is also possible at boot camp. A lot of times people come to boot camp and they don't think like, oh, I probably won't be able to gain much muscle mass. But at the end of the day, we're doing cardio and we're doing strength training. We're doing both mixed together. And by doing so, you are able to put on some healthy muscle mass, which in turn helps you lose body fat. So she was able to get into great shape, gain a bunch of muscle, and she was able to feel way more confident and be way stronger than she was before. So there's always both sides to the spectrum, and just know that you're like never too fit or too light to come to boot camp. So it's either way works.
Totally. Love those stories, and thank you for sharing. And, you know, there's just a lot of reasons also from my lens. People, you talked about the results, Jake, and people come for the results. They're looking to lose weight, get toned, put on some lean muscle mass, burn more, calories, and really have more confidence. And that's, from my lens, what really attracts our clientele in. And then also, the results keep them in, but ultimately the community, the relationships, and again, just reinforcing, Jake, the value that you've added. You do a great job along with the team to foster those relationships and create an incredible culture. Because to your point, back to Jamie, not only she had an incredible weight loss result, but now she has friends and she has community, and her life has just changed. So really, really important to bring up. Now, shifting gears and kind of my last framework before we shoot over the lightning round is really just, from a coaching perspective, and this is really good insight for our viewers listening that are just looking for more strategies on how to be more successful with their health and fitness, but also will give them really direct insights from the most successful clients and also too some of the commonalities of the unsuccessful clients. So from your perspective, if you could kind of maybe sum up maybe, 1, 2, maybe 3 reasons or the commonalities of our most successful clients. And on the flip side, a client that really just never latches onto the program for whatever reason, what are some commonalities of the clients that don't really, stick with it and find success? And I think that would be really, really valuable to showcase for our audience.
Definitely. Well, I'd say in terms of the most successful clients, there's 3 things I can think of right off the bat. Number 1 is being someone that commits to a schedule. So committing to a schedule, the people that are signing up for sessions a week in advance, those are the people that are typically more successful, because if you're the type of person that waits and signs up in the parking lot, it's really easy to skip that. It is so easy to skip that when you haven't made a commitment to yourself. So the people that sign up ahead of time and make a schedule for the week, and the same thing goes with their meals. The people that plan out their meals for the week are going to be more successful in eating than the people that don't plan out their meals, because if you don't plan out your meals, Bryce, it's that Taco Bell looks super good as you're driving by, that McDonald's, those golden arches always look so inviting. So it's super easy to stop. So you want to make sure you're planning out your meals, planning out your workouts. Number 2 are the people that are willing to be pushed. So the people that are willing to take a challenge on. So it's one thing to get into the gym and to work out. It's another thing to challenge yourself. So we always say, like, any workout could be the hardest workout of your life. It could be the easiest workout of your life. So we could be doing push-ups and sit-ups for 30 minutes, and that could be the hardest workout you've ever done in your entire life if you push yourself. But it also could be the easiest workout you've ever done if you don't. And you're not going to get a lot out of it. So the people that are really willing to push themselves and take the challenges from their coaches, within reason, of course. I'm not asking everybody to deadlift 500 pounds or go crazy and be doing muscle ups or anything wild and crazy like that. But even just the small switch of using, hey, you did the 10-pound weights last week. Let's try the 12s this week. Or, hey, you got 6 burpees in a minute last week. Let's try 7. Or let's try 6.5. Let's try to get just that little extra. And that was what's really going to catapult you to the top. So those 2 things for sure. And then the third is people that are honest. So honest with themselves, honest with their coaches, especially during challenge time or whenever we're tracking someone's nutrition. The only people that are successful are the people that are honest with themselves first and honest with their coaches second. Because if you're eating something that you're not supposed to be eating and you're not telling your coach, or you're not writing it down yourself and you're not keeping track of it, that just vanishes into thin air on paper. And then you're going to look back over like the last couple of weeks and be like, why did I gain 2-3 pounds? Well, it's because you haven't been tracking all those, those Coca-Colas you've been drinking. You haven't been tracking that candy you were eating at work, or you haven't been tracking, you went out to lunch two out of the 5 days during the work week, but you didn't track it. Those are big deals. And I'm not saying doing those stuff is something you shouldn't do. I want everyone to live their lives the way that they want to. But as long as you're honest, we can work around it. So we can always work that cheeseburger into your diet. We can do it. It's fine. We can work that in. Obviously not 7 days a week, every meal of the day or anything like that, but we can work it in. If you want to have a cheeseburger on the weekends, yeah, totally. Go do it. I love myself a good cheeseburger. I'm sure you do too, Bryce, even if you won't admit it. But just being honest with yourself and being honest with your coaches is really the best thing that you can do to be successful, because your coaches are there to help you. At the end of the day, like, I'm never going to put someone down just because they had a cheeseburger or just because they had some candy. I'm never going to make fun of you or put you down because of that. I'm going to find a way to work that either into your diet or find some healthy alternatives that we can use in place of that. So I'm here to help you, and that's really my only job, and not only my job, like, I don't even hardly consider being a fit body a job. It's my passion. And it's my hobby. It's something that I love to do. This is what I want to do. I want to see you succeed. I want to see there be more healthy people in the United States. We have like a 50% obesity rating. I want that percentage to be less than 10. That would be ideal. But it all starts with you, and it all starts with you being honest with yourself, with your coaches, with your friends, with your family. So just honesty is the best policy, I'd say.
Oh, man. Total gold there, and a variety of reasons. I'll even go back to the first point that you mentioned about like booking your sessions in advance. And on Friday, you, Jake, led a workout with Coach Kat for our headquarters team. It was a really great experience to kind of, connect everyone from our headquarters based in Chino Hills and our Mission Viejo team, and also for our headquarters team to experience the workouts. And a great experience. And we stayed towards the end, and there was the 8:15 session coming in. And Steve, who is a fan favorite, has been with us for a long time, he kind of runs in and says, shoot, I was so busy. The only reason I came today is because I booked it a week before and I didn't want to let you guys down. And whether he was being fully honest or not, I would imagine so, given that, but he's a bit of a funny guy to begin with, keeps it light, if you will. But that all said, that, commitment of basically scheduling out and planning out really got him to boot camp on Friday morning. If he didn't, maybe you wouldn't have, to your point. So I love those takeaways and really great, pieces of advice for our audience. So that all said, my friend, you've been very gracious with your time. We still have time for the lightning round, so I have some other questions if you're up for it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, cool. So in kind of lightning round rapid form fashion, Coach Jake, what's the biggest benefit of coaching that you actually didn't realize before you started coaching? Curious what that looks like for you.
Yeah, I'd say, well, the biggest benefit of coaching actually isn't what you think. It was how many steps I get in the day. So the biggest benefit of coaching is that I'm able to actually do some like light cardio during my workday. Like I put in 20 to 30,000 steps every single day just when I'm on the mats. So it's literally just in our 2,800 square foot facility. I'm putting in probably like 10 miles a day of walking around and around and around and around, checking on clients, going to the front desk, coming back from the front desk. And I actually, that's like really helped. And I've actually like seen an improvement since I started working, like in terms of just like my overall like ability to move around. So it's definitely one of the biggest improvements and one of the random ones that I can think of.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. All right, next up, what's a unique value bomb that the average person should know when joining a boot camp or a fitness program, but for whatever reason they don't know?
Well, I think the biggest value bomb is that it's going to be the best decision you could ever make, even if you don't have a good time. So I know this is a lightning round. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. So it's the best decision you could ever make because guess what? You get to see, if you go to boot camp and you love it, you now have a family, you now have friends, you now have a place that you can work out. You're going to be happier and healthier. If you go to boot camp and you don't like it, guess what? Now you know, and you've crossed that off of your mental list, that isn't for you. You're going to go try something else. So a lot of times, we see the Facebook ads, we see things pop up, and I've done this a million times. I can't tell you how many times I've been looking at cars on the internet. I'm like, what if I got this car? What if I get this car? What if I tried this? What if I went to this? But I never go and actually test drive the cars. So I never get to go find out, hey, is that car truly for me? But I could go, if I went and test drove the car and it's perfect, then guess what? Now I know it's time to get me a new car. But if I go and I test drive it and there's blind spots and the reverse is weird or whatever it is, the transmission feels a little funky, now I can cross that off my list, and every time I see it on Facebook, I'm like, oh, hey, I tried it. I know that I'm not a big fan of it, so I can go to do something else. I can go try something else. And it's the same thing with boot camp. And it's like I said, so it's going to be the best decision of your life because A, you get to have a family, work out, be happier, be healthier, or B, on the less likely side, you go to a boot camp or any gym for that matter, you go to any gym and you realize like, hey, maybe this isn't the style of workout that I like. I'm going to go try a different style of workout because there's a million different styles of workouts that you can go try.
Coach Jake, you are wise beyond your years, my friend. That was incredible. All right, next up, I love this one, is really, from a nutrition perspective. You're a head coach, you're a specimen, if you will, but certainly we all like our healthy food, but you also like our cheat meals as well. To your point, of course, I like a cheeseburger. However, I would much rather go sugar. That's for me. But from your perspective, Jake, what is your favorite healthy meal? And the flip side, what's your favorite cheat meal?
Got it. Well, I'm a sucker for a nice lean steak for sure. Like, give me a nice filet mignon. Definitely my favorite healthy meal for sure. Like filet mignon, no sides, just the meat, all good to go there. And of course, like my favorite cheat meal, I'm also a sucker for a good pepperoni pizza. Maybe some buffalo wings on the side. Like, you can probably find me eating that like probably 2-3 times out of the month for sure, if not more than that. I love it. It's just super good. I just can't stay away from it,
Nice. All right. Appreciate that. Now, more on the movement side, from a fitness perspective, what's your favorite exercise? And the flip side, what's your least favorite exercise to do?
Totally. I'm a barbell deadlift junkie for sure. I love just the feeling of gripping and ripping as much weight as you possibly can. It's just like super gratifying feeling, and it's just always been something fun and something I've always been good at. So it's definitely my favorite movement. My least favorite movement has actually switched lately. It used to be the Bulgarian split squat was my least favorite movement, but I've actually taken a liking to that movement lately. So I'd say my least favorite is probably box jumps. I'm built to be on the floor and not to be jumping onto anything. So definitely one of my least favorite, and always just takes a toll. Like, I'm always winded after box jumps. So definitely if I can get around them, I do.
There you go. And if you're listening to this on audio and you don't know Coach Jake, he definitely is a very big guy, lean, but has a good amount of muscular mass on his body. So the box jump reference, that makes a lot of sense that you like to be on the ground instead of in the air. All right, my last question for the lightning round. This is a local health and fitness show here in Orange County. I've lived in Orange County for nearly 20 years, so I'm more Californian than not, even though I come from the Midwest. But you, Coach Jake, you are a Southern California, Orange County boy through and through. Grew up in South Orange County. So aside from boot camp, what's a really cool, fun, relaxing spot, or just a good, fun hangout spot that we can catch you or your fiancée Sarah hanging out with in Orange County?
That's an easy one. So my parents are also from this area too. So we've been Orange County through a couple of generations now. The Orange Circle, so Old Town Orange, is always awesome. It's where I had my 21st birthday. I took my fiance on our first date there. It's just a super awesome place. It's got that old school feel. It's got plenty of bars, restaurants, things to do, different activities, has a couple escape rooms, things like everything pretty much under the sun. It's just down the street from Disneyland too, so it's obviously right down the way. Obviously, that's the big pull from Southern California here. But yeah, Old Town Orange definitely is where you can catch me. I'm there at least a couple times a month. So.
There you go. And I believe I was talking with Mike Zakarian, who's the owner of East Orange Fit Body, and they had a big fair over the weekend. So
yeah, big international street fair was this weekend. Yeah.
There you go. That was more of a recent thing, but ongoing. You also like the spot as well. All right, Jake, this has been incredible. I have one last question, which is really just a parting piece of wisdom. So, there's many people listening to the show right now who know they need to change, know that, they need to increase their quality of life through increased quality of their fitness. But for whatever reason, they're nervous, they're scared, they're hesitant. What is your parting piece of wisdom for that person?
So my parting piece of wisdom, it's something that I've already gone over. The best decision in your life is to try something new. So go try something new, get out of your comfort zone. And like I said, you'll learn that either it's going to be the best fit for you, or maybe it's not the best fit for you, and that means you get to try something else. So get out there, try something new, find what works best for you, and stick with it. Make a schedule, and stick to that schedule are definitely the biggest parting pieces of wisdom that I can leave anybody with, and I implore everybody to get out there and try something new.
Well, Coach Jake, sage advice, my friend. Really appreciate that. And before we wrap today, I just want to take a second to acknowledge you, my brother, which I really view you as. It's been an incredible journey over the last 7+ years to see your growth, to see your ambition, to see just how you show up. And certainly we have a very special relationship, the way we connect and bond, and certainly have, very, things that we have in common that we, generally speaking, that we like, including health and fitness. But more so than that, I'm attracted to your heart. I'm just attracted to you as a human. You're such a good guy, and the way you show up has been an incredibly valuable way to our team, to our clients, to our community, and really the lives you change. So I want to thank you so much, not only for being on the show, just for being for the awesome coach and person that you are.
Thank you, Bryce. I appreciate that.
All right, friends. Well, I know you got a ton of value, assuming you did. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, or write us an amazing review on iTunes. And even better yet, drop your biggest comment or biggest takeaway, I should say, in the comments. That way we really can connect and dialogue and really continue to add value to your health and fitness. So that would be your call to action. And again, Coach Jake, appreciate you, my friend, and we'll see you all in the next episode.
Thank you, Coach Bryce.